Welcome, everyone. Today we explore Deep Work by Cal Newport, an associate professor of computer science at Georgetown University. Newport's book argues that the ability to concentrate deeply is the superpower of the 21st century. Throughout this presentation, we will dive into Newport's core definitions and explain why this skill is increasingly valuable in our information economy. Our goal is to move beyond mere busyness and reclaim our ability to produce at an elite level through focused intensity. We are currently in what economists call the Great Restructuring, where digital technology is transforming labor markets. As intelligent machines improve, the ability to quickly master hard things and produce at an elite level becomes a massive economic advantage. Conversely, many knowledge workers are losing this capacity due to network tools like email and social media. On average, 60% of the work week is spent on fragmented tasks such as electronic communication. To thrive in this new economy, we must recognize the rising value of depth over the shift toward the shallow. Let's define our terms. Deep work involves professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate. In contrast, shallow work consists of non-cognitively demanding logistical tasks often performed while distracted. These efforts, like constant email monitoring and status meetings, tend not to create much value and are easy to replicate. Success requires us to wring every drop of value from our intellectual capacity through depth. This leads to the deep work hypothesis. The ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare. At exactly the same time, it is becoming increasingly valuable. As a consequence, the few who cultivate this skill and make it the core of their working life will thrive. This isn't just a productivity hack, it's a fundamental shift. Like Carl Jung, who built a stone tower to escape city distractions for careful thought, we must build our own mental retreats. In a world of shiny distractions, the deep worker is the one who wins. To integrate depth, you must choose a philosophy that fits your life. The monastic approach seeks total isolation from shallow obligations. The bimodal philosophy, used by Carl Jung, divides time into clearly defined deep stretches, at least one full day, and open periods. The rhythmic approach creates a strict daily habit, like working at 5:30 a.m. every morning. Finally, the journalistic approach involves fitting deep work in wherever the schedule allows. Routines and rituals are essential to minimize the willpower needed to maintain unbroken concentration. Execution is often more difficult than strategy, so Newport suggests the 4 disciplines of execution, 40X. First, focus on the wildly important by targeting a small number of ambitious outcomes. Second, act on lead measures, such as tracking the actual time spent in deep work rather than just the final output. Third, keep a compelling scoreboard, using a physical artifact to display your deep work hour count. Finally, create a cadence of accountability through regular weekly reviews to plan and celebrate progress. Focus is a muscle that must be trained. If every moment of potential boredom is relieved with a smartphone, your brain becomes rewired for a dependence on distraction. To fix this, don't take breaks from distraction, take breaks from focus. Newport's actionable rule is to schedule your internet use. Outside of those specific scheduled blocks, absolutely no connectivity is allowed. By segregating internet use, you minimize the times you give in to distraction and allow your attention-selecting muscles to strengthen over time. We can build extreme cognitive strength through mental interval training. One method is Roosevelt dashes, where you set an artificial, drastically reduced deadline for a task and attack it with teeth-gritting concentration. Another is productive meditation. Use periods of physical occupation, like walking or commuting, to focus your attention on a single, well-defined professional problem. As in mindfulness, you must repeatedly return your attention to the problem whenever your mind wanders or stalls. These practices sharpen your concentration and increase your professional productivity. Most people use an any-benefit mindset, justifying a tool if they can identify any possible benefit. We should instead adopt the craftsman approach to tool selection. Adopt a tool only if its positive impacts on your core goals substantially outweigh the negative impacts. This requires a craftsman filter, where you identify your primary professional and personal goals and evaluate tools accordingly. Many social media services offer minor benefits while severely damaging your capacity to work deeply. By being more stringent, we reclaim our time. The law of the vital few states that in many settings, 80% of an effect is due to just 20% of the causes. We must apply this to our internet habits by shifting time away from low-impact network tools like mindless scrolling and reinvesting it into the high-impact 20% of activities that yield transformative returns. Because time is a zero-sum game, every minute spent on shallow activities is a minute taken from those that provide the bulk of your benefit. Prioritizing high-impact tasks makes you more successful and fulfilled. We spend too much of our day on autopilot, unaware of how our time is used. Newport's solution is to schedule every minute of your day into blocks. This isn't about being rigid, it's about being thoughtful. If your schedule is disrupted, you simply take a few minutes to create a revised plan for the remaining time. This habit prevents the trivial from creeping into your schedule and ensures you have dedicated space to grapple with challenging ideas. Structure does not kill creativity, it protects it. To manage your time effectively, you must quantify the depth of your activities. Ask, how long would it take to train a smart, recent college grad to do this task? If the answer is low, a few months, it is shallow work. You should then have a conversation with your boss or yourself to establish a shallow work budget, typically 30 to 50% of your time. Obeying this budget forces you to say no to logistical fluff and protects the time needed for original, high-value, deep work. Fixed schedule productivity means setting a firm goal of not working past a certain time, like 5:30 p.m. This requires a strict shutdown ritual to close all open loops and review the next day's plan. By 5 p.m., your work consideration must shut down completely until morning. This is based on the idea that evening downtime is indispensable. It aids insights by letting the unconscious mind work, recharges cognitive energy for the next day, and replaces low-value work with meaningful rest. These rules are not isolated productivity hacks. They form an interlocking, holistic lifestyle design. Working deeply builds ultimate value, while embracing boredom builds the cognitive muscle required for that intensity. Quitting social media creates the mental space for concentration, and draining the shallows creates the time necessary to execute it. Together, these practices create an ecosystem of deep value and output. By adopting this lifestyle, you join the focused few who thrive in our globally competitive information economy. In conclusion, a deep life is a good life. Leaving the distracted masses to join the focused few is a transformative experience that generates a life rich with productivity and meaning. As Cal Newport demonstrates through his own career and the examples of giants like Bill Gates and Carl Jung, depth is the pragmatic recognition that concentration gets valuable things done. I challenge you to start building your own personal Bollinger Tower and start building your deep life today. Thank you.